Okay, shall we start with the striking off? Striking off name of the company. Compounding means if you have defaulted for 1 year, you cannot go for compounding because the fine is apparent. But when you have defaulted for 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, or where fine is more, you generally go for compounding. What happens by compounding is if you have defaulted for through 2 or 3 purposes, okay, then tribunal or regional director will derive a single penalty for all. That means the penalty may be reduced. That's why we go for compound. Very clear with this? Understood? We'll start with the striking off. Striking off means what? See, one way to close the company is the winding up procedure. But without going to the winding up, if anybody wants to exit or strike off the name, this is very simple process and a very efficient process. That is a voluntary striking off that we'll be learning later. But first we'll be learning striking off name by the ROC. Whenever ROC, okay, over here this section is 560. We are talking about the companies at 1956. Very clear with this? Understood? So section 560 says that whenever any company, if ROC thinks, okay, has not filed annual returns for 2 or more years, those company becomes a defunct company. Defunct company or a inactive company, also called as a dormant company, that is a sleeping company, means it is not active. Okay, then okay, striking off implies removal. The expression defunct company for purpose of 560 means company which is not longer in effect or use, not operating or functioning, not carrying on any business, or is not an operation. It is called as a defunct company. When ROC has reasonable cause to believe that the business is not carried on by the company, what the ROC will do, it will send a letter by post to the company at its registered office. Okay, then company has to reply within 14 days. Has to reply within 1 month. If no reply has been received from ROC, then within next 14 days it will give a second letter to the company. It will again wait for a month. If no letter is received, then the third notice directly will be given in the official gazette by the ROC. Okay. After expiry of notice, after expiry of time mentioned in notice, ROC may strike its name of the register and shall publish notice in the official gazette. On publication of this notice, the company shall stand dissolved. Very clear with this? Understood? Now, striking off on company's application. The last we saw was the compulsory striking off by the ROC, but this is by the company itself. Striking off, now it has become very simple procedure where the companies which do not want to go for winding up because it has a petition and all the matters are there, they have a simple option called as a fast track exit under section number 560 of the Act. Very clear with this? The name itself says it is a fast track exit. Now first we'll see what all companies or which type of companies can apply. Okay. Any company will be called as defunct company for purpose of this guideline, which are nil asset and liability. The very important thing over here is the company which wants to apply for fast track exit, should have nil asset and nil liabilities. Now, has not commenced any business activity since incorporation, they can go for FTE. Is not carrying over any business activity or operation for last 1 year, they can go for FTE. Any defunct company which has active status or identifies as dormant by MCA may apply for getting its name strike off from registrar of companies. Remember, it's a shortcut to the winding up. Any defunct company which is a government company shall submit NOC issued by concerned administrative ministry or department or state government along with the application. Decision of ROC in respect of striking off shall be final. Now, FTEs are not available to following types of companies. Listed companies, not available means they cannot go for shortcut, they have to go with the long procedure of the winding up. Very clear with this? These FTEs are generally applicable or available to small companies, okay, who don't want to waste money in winding up. Listed companies, companies that have been delisted due to non-compliance of listing agreement or under statutory laws. Companies registered under Section 25 of Companies Act, that is right now Section 8 of 2013. Vanishing companies, companies where inspection and investigation is ordered and being carried out. Okay, vanishing companies means which is getting vanished by the financial institutions, that is a vanishing company. Companies where order under 234, that is inspection order, has been issued by the ROC. Companies against which prosecution for non-compoundable offence is pending in the court. Companies accepted deposits which are either outstanding or companies in default in repayment. Company having secured loan. Company having management dispute. Company in respect of which filing of documents have been stayed by court or CLB. Company having bills towards income tax or sales tax or central excise or banks and financial institutions or any other local authority. Now, what all documents are required with the form FTE? The name of the form itself is FTE, that is Fast Track Exit. Okay, along with the form we have to attach affidavits from all the directors, indemnity bond, statement of accounts duly attested by the chartered accountant, and the board resolution duly signed by the directors of the company saying that we want to close the company. Very clear with this? Any doubts in FTE? A company wants to close it down. There cannot be a single creditor, no debtor, nothing should be there. Nil assets and liabilities means paid up, means share capital 1 lakh, example P&L debit balance 1 lakh, that's it. Nothing should be there in it. Very clear with this, Ashlesha? Indemnity bond means we want to close the company and company did not do business. Indemnity bond means, in short, we are giving reasons why the company has to be closed. That is an indemnity bond and it is generally on the stamp paper. Now, right of person agreed by company having been struck off. Okay. Now, whenever form is filed with the ROC will months for a because the form has been filed, it will give the reference to the income tax authorities. It will give reference to the other authorities wherever company has been registered, and then after obtaining NOC from all the authorities, it will strike off the name. Very clear with this? If company has filed the FTE and something is left, like for example taxes are left to be filed or to be paid, then the company cannot be striked off. ROC will wait for 6 months. Okay, then only it will approve the striking off of the name. Striking off means it will wind up of the company. Very clear with this? Understood? But if there are any objections from any of the authorities, then company has to be revived. Very clear with this? Then ROC will not approve the striking off of the company. Who can apply for restoration of name? This chapter, striking off is, I can't say it is important, but sometimes it comes for 5 marks. So you should understand what is FTE actually. Okay. Application for restoration can only be made by company, member or a creditor. Means any person who is interested in the company can apply to the court for restoration of name of the company. Means it will pray that please don't strike off the name of the company. I have my dues pending with the company. Now, meaning of dormant company. Dormant company has been defined under Companies Act 2013. Remember, section is 455 of Companies Act 2013. When company is formed and registered under the Act for future project or to hold asset or intellectual property and has no significant accounting transaction, such company or inactive company may make application to ROC in form MSC 1 to declare itself as a dormant company. Very clear with this? Inactive company means which is not carrying its operation or not filed annual returns for last 2 financial years. Now, application for obtaining status of the dormant company. Company may make application in form MSC 1 to ROC for status of dormant company in accordance with provisions of 455 after passing special resolution in the general meeting. Okay, but this all conditions are to be there. No inspection or inquiry or investigation has to be ordered. No prosecution has been initiated. That company is neither having any public deposits which are outstanding for the repayment. Company is not having any outstanding loan, whether secured or unsecured. There is no dispute in the management or ownership of a company, and Form 1 is enclosed. The company does not have any outstanding dues, taxes, duties to any of the local authorities. Company has not defaulted in payment of workmen's dues. Securities of company are not listed on any of the stock exchange. Only then ROC will consider and declare it as a dormant company. Okay, dormant company don't have to carry out any of the required compliances. See, dormant and striking off are different. Striking off means winding up. Dormant means a sleeping company who is not active but still there on the records of the ROC, but in the form of dormant. Very clear with this? Annually they have to just file one return in MSC 3, which is duly audited by chartered accountant. Very clear with this? Understood? Yeah, dormant company, if not revived within 5 years, ROC does the winding up of the same, that means striking off. But why directors generally do the dormant company? Because they have hopes that company can be revived off. Very clear with this? Now, at any time when company thinks that now company has to be revived, company has a business, okay, then they can file form MSC 4 with ROC for converting status from dormant to the active